So Danny Brough getting his side ready. As we have another look at the team sheets and the side that Brough will be masterminding around the park. Derwent Park, to be precise, here in Workington. So Matty Russell, the man who opened the scoring and finished it with a win against Tonga. 26 points to 24, continues at fullback. And Brough and Wallace will combine in the halves. It's not a bad pack in terms of forwards for Scotland as well. And plenty mileage and beef on the bench as well, under the stewardship of Steve McCormack. The Italians, and no changes for their 17 from their victory in the opening game against Wales. Anthony Minichiello, the fullback. Manatello, Tedesco, Guerra and Centrone as the backs, and Falcone and Getty will push their side around the park as they attack the Scottish side. Again, plenty options for them on the bench as well. Plenty for Carlo and Napolitano to consider. So referee Henry Perinara says let's get this game underway, and Scotland kicking into the Italian half. And the Azzurri will take their first drive with Aidan Guerra, the Sydney Roosters. Now Paul Vaughan, as the dark blue shirts of Scotland stand in the way while driving down the centres. As now in stands at dummy half, Peralta. It's the dark blue of Scotland then. Just running it down the centres at the moment. Here's Lafranchi. Head down. It's Peralta again at dummy half. Here is the kick. The first test for the Scottish backs, taken by Matty Russell, who aims for the line. And Dave Wood's not a bad first set for Italy. Always good to see that set out as the rain begins to fall here.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, the Italians will want to ease their way into the game. They had a very good win last or first round in the campaign against Wales, and really played some good footy. So they've got a little bit of a breeze at their back. The rain, as you say, is just starting, although the sun is right in their face. It's still shining, but a little bit of poor weather at the moment.
Dale Ferguson drives through for Scotland as they approach the Italian territory on halfway. Brough then with the kick. Underneath it, Chris Centrone. Got support as well. Takes it himself. Danny Addy, the first man to tackle for Scotland. They go again to Italy. Lucky to get the ball away, but keeping hold that time. Peralta at dummy half again. Through hands they go, a little bit of a gap opening up as Mark Minichiello tries to get those legs going and run from dummy half this time as Anthony Minichiello, the captain, charges on and sets up Italy. The ball back then for Getty, who pumps it into the sky, into the sunshine as well, and fumbled by Brett Carter, playing on his home ground. Scored a try, didn't he, the weekend? Couldn't quite keep on with that one.
Well, as I say, the wins at the Italians' back. It was a very good kick there, and Carter failed to handle the ball, just rocked it out over the back and for a goal line dropout. But a good start, big forward Vaughan carrying the ball earlier there, and Hendo he didn't like a couple of things, gave him a little touch up in the face. So they're out there ready to play.
A little slip from the dropout, but it comfortably finds halfway on this slightly shorter pitch. But Vaughan runs. It was a little bit high from Luke Douglas, the Gold Coast 27-year-old. Play on as Peralta ducks his way under. Anthony Minichiello, dummy half, as the referee penalises Scotland for laying on. Steve McCormack watching his Scottish side. Another strong drive from Paul Vaughan, but Initial point of contact was strong, still drives on those extra few metres. Plenty dark blue shirts on defensive duties and helping out as the Azzurri come again. Here's Ciraldo, the vice-captain of the Italian side. Peralta comes into dummy half, but he doesn't get the opportunity because it's been knocked on. A mistake there from Cameron Ciraldo.
Yeah, running at Pete Wallace there, and Pete's a very, very tough competitor for a halfback. Very good defender, and just put his body on the line. Cameron Ciraldo didn't have the grip. He tried to milk a penalty, I think, and just lost the ball forward a little bit for the turnover.
Peter Wallace, the Brisbane man, his debut against Tonga. Wasn't a bad debut, was it, with the victory? Of course, both of these two sides winning their opening fixture as they pack down then. Henderson it is into Carter off the back of the scrum. Now Matty Russell, for many the hero of that Scotland first opening game. Trying to get the ball played as Henderson this time tries to take it from dummy half. Thought there was a bit of an opening there, manages to get the ball away though. Aimed back for the traffic, but no space there as now Ian Henderson picks it up from dummy half. Here's Wallace. Kick low this time. Makes Centrone track back. He runs straight into Danny Addy. Driven back as well. Strong stuff from Scotland after their chase. Here's Guerra. Josh Manatello over that 20-metre line. Both sides making reasonable metres, but nothing to show on the scoreboard so far. And a penalty. Another. Which will put Scotland deep inside their own half.
Yeah, Holden down there, he's got up to try and play the ball, and they've forced him down again and just gave the penalty away. The cheap yards, Adam Walker there on top, but both sides just spoiling a little bit at the moment, just playing the spoiling tactics, trying to hold them down and slowing the play. The ball's down. The ball didn't find touch. That's a poor display from the Italian side.
Alex Hursley was who caught it and threw it back in play before he put a foot in touch. There he is, Hurst. Knows his feet are in touch, and that's still a ball away for Scotland to keep hold of it, and they might be deep in their own territory, but they have ball in hand now as Matty Russell spins and drives. And we see number of tackles already made in these opening 13 minutes. And those missed tackles, just 2 from Scotland.
There's another one, the Holden down penalty. And, the Italian fullback Anthony Minicello not happy with that. He's come in to have a chat with Mr. Perinara, but I don't think it'll do any good. I'm sure Brough won't make the same mistake as the Italians. He'll find touch here and again put the Scots on the pressure.
It's a long way into touch from Danny Brough for Huddersfield. And now Scotland have 20 metres. They couldn't force their way over from 10 last time out. What can they do this time? Here's Wallace. Drops it back inside. Knocked off his feet was Wallace, but had got the ball away, but the referee says it's been knocked on. So coughing up possession on the first play of their set of 6. Not the ideal situation.
A very scrappy game, isn't it, to start with? The both sides, number of errors. That there's the big shoulder charge there on Pete Wallace, Dean Perata. Bounced straight back up there, Pete, and got stuck into the play, but knock on there, and just a little bit of a spell at the moment. Some water going into the players while Henry Perinara gets some work done on his radios.
It's an important game for both these two sides, as we see. Here's Wallace with ball in hand. Is that shoulder charge there?
Shoulder charge and late, so you know I don't think they've picked that up, but there's the knock on as well.
Was that late,
from
Thierry?
the Scotland players.
Okay, and it was number 9?
Henry Perinara.
Okay. Anthony!
He's going to have a chat with...
Is that a penalty to Scotland?
Dean Parada, is he? Or is he calling across Anthony Minicello?
Yeah, I think he's calling Anthony across because he's the captain of the Italians. He's called Parada out as well.
Make contact on these.
There it is there, late shoulder charge.
Ball's already gone, and the referee has had a chat, told him he doesn't want to see any more, and they're going. Scotland want to get this scoreboard ticking over. Been given a penalty from that shoulder charge, and they've indicated they're going for the 2.
Yeah, look, it's lucky that the referee got had to get his voice so that the touch judges could speak to him there to get that decision. And Brough, I think, just with the way the game's gone at the moment, just to start with a lot of, a bit of drop ball here and there, a bit of slowing down of the play of the balls. I think Brough will just be happy to get the 2 points and then let's start again, because it's been quite scrappy so far.
Yep.
Scrappy start to the game. Scotland the first to get the scoreboard ticking. A victory here by 2 points. Last weekend. And they've got 2 points for Steve McCormack's side. You see Andrew Henderson on his right there. No, right, he's left. And so Scotland lead by 2 points to 0 in this Group C game of the Rugby League World Cup 2013. And they'll receive the ball again from the restart. Wallace underneath it. A drive from Douglas. Now Carter. Scored a try on his home ground in the opening game for Scotland. Henderson at dummy half. So just make the metres down the middle. Brough this time, a kick early in the tackle count, looking for the space in the backfield, but actually underneath it, Anthony Minicello lets it go. Did he get a hand there? The referee says it's all fine. Chris Centrone was bent down to pick the ball up. It bounced around off his shins, but no hand, says the referee. So on we play, and here is Guerra. This is Minicello. You see, there's no hand there, is there? From Chris Centrone, good decision. Scampered from dummy half this time. Is a bit of a clash of the 2 Scottish defenders. Wallace in there. Italy rolling their way downfield, making good metres in this set. Now the kick from Getty. Alex Hurst underneath it. Comfortable take, but a good chase from the Italians. And held him down just outside his own 10.
Move, Anthony!
Too much advantage from the dummy half runners. Henderson now uses the big men.
Anthony, let go!
And now has a go as Cameron Ciraldo helps out the tackling with Anthony Lafranchi. And he had it driven down back into the ground with ball in hand for Scotland. Henderson to Wallace, who puts in a cheeky kick cross field. Yeah, again, Brough, the first man of contact as the Italians charge down the middle. Now with James Tedesco. Big bruising bodies, aren't they? The Italians are using their weight at the moment to push down. Quick hands as well. Nice little jink from Tedesco. Setting themselves up then with a couple of tackles remaining in this set. Charging out, the line was Danny Addy. Didn't quite come off, and Parada has it.
Last tackle, Danny. Come on, another step.
Mark Minicello then in at dummy half now. The ball's fired back to Falcone. It's high into the sky this time. There's white shirts underneath it, but a lovely take from Matty Russell. He's through as well. Can he get around the flailing arms of the Italian defence? He couldn't quite, and this time there's a hand in there from Paul Vaughan. They drive up towards that 40-metre line. Another good run from Ben Helliwell. Picked it up from dummy half and through the dummy, drove on. And it wins a penalty now. Scotland upping the tempo.
Well, it wasn't the best kick from Falcone, but it was a great take from Matty Russell, and he just beat a number of players to bring the ball back very, very well. And there it is again. He just went up, put the body on the line, took the ball very well, and beat a couple, and then dragged down luckily for the Italians. But big Oliver Wilkes on now for Adam Walker, so plenty of experience in Wilkes. We'll see if he can help the Scots out.
Here he is, Oliver Wilkes of Wakefield, the 33-year-old. Had plenty of experience in the English game, Super League and Championship. It's found its way out to that left-hand side. Ferguson has it. Looking for a bit of space, trying to scamper around those white shirts. Brough couldn't quite get there. The ball's run loose as well. It's into that in-goal area. The referee says penalty to Scotland.
Well, it had to be a 2-on-1 strip there with Danny Brough jumped from dummy half. Had two players dragging him back, tackling him very, very hard, and ball came loose, so he's either dropped it or it's a 2-on-1 strip.
Kavanagh with the drive for Scotland then. A fresh set of 6. Right in front of the sticks now. Here's Brough. Into Wilkes. Wilkes bounces and pinballs his way. Just 2 metres away. Ian Henderson in at dummy half, trying to squeeze their way underneath the sticks and drive their way over. Still held out. The Italian defence is holding firm. Brough tries to get the ball away quickly, but under too much pressure. It rolls back, but they got a fresh set of 6s. Then Matty Russell runs through, almost away. Is the tackle complete? No, it's not. Matty Russell driving for the line. Has he got the ball down? The referee, Henry Perinara, is going to have a look at this one. Matty Russell, though, instinctively spotting the gaps, driving through, and has he got Scotland's first try this second game?
Okay, slowly. He's in the air, still in the air, still in the air. I can't tell on this one. Ball was down, but okay. Oh no. Can I get another angle, please? Can this one slowly? Still in contact. Ball. In the air. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I can't tell on this one. The first one, please. On this one, yeah. Slowly. Slowly. Still in the air. Still in the air. Wait. Stop here. Yeah, freeze. The ball is on the ground and behind the line. On this one, this is a try.
Matty Russell scored the opening try of Scotland's first game of this Rugby League World Cup for 2013. He scored the eventual winner against Tonga. And a quarter of the game played here at Derwent Park again. And Matty Russell scores 4 points for Scotland and for Steve McCormack's side. Plenty arms and legs in the way. But eventually you saw the logo ball over the line on the ground.
Well, Matty Russell did a great job there. He's been electrifying both carries that he's had so far, and we're just watching it again now. Henderson at dummy half just throws the ball out the back at the Brough, and it was knocked down, so 6 again. Russell went back, picked it up, carried it in one hand, beat a few defenders there, tackled, no held down, jumped straight back up, went over the line. I thought that he was held up, and then you could clearly see the ball on the ground at the end there. But look, whether he had any pressure on it, because it did look like he was fumbling a bit. But try's been given, so great work from the Scots, and very, very good work from Matty Russell.
So he did run loose back to 20 metres, but Matty Russell cut through, didn't he? And Brough with the extra 2 already slotted a penalty. And the extra 2 successful, 8 points to 0. It's already 2 scores. Things looking good for Scotland at the moment. It was a little bit scrappy for a start, but maybe things will settle down now.
Yeah, well, now they might just settle down and just play the footy that we know that they can play. You know, I think both teams have been a little bit tentative so far, and both sort, you know, putting in those slowing down tactics and all. But I think you know, there's a lot at stake. Both teams need the win, and there might have been a little bit of you know, pressure out there on the players, but hopefully that'll settle the Scots down now, and they'll get stuck in.
Oliver Wilkes has the first try from a very deep restarted kick. This is Ben Helliwell.
Thank you. Release him! Hold here. Hold! Go. 3.
Scotland with the most penalties in favour of themselves in this opening quarter of the game. It's now Wallace with another kick, looking for a 40-20. Is he possibly? It runs through as well. Was he inside that 40, Wallace? It's a shorter pitch here.
Great
and high fives all round.
Tremendous when you've got 2 kickers of the calibre of Wallace and Brough. Brough on one side with his left foot, and then Pete Wallace on the right with his right foot. But you're watching it again, well inside the 40, and a great nudge with the ball. And again, another bit of pressure on for the Italians to have to defend.
Good bit of gameplay from the Brisbane man. Only a second game for Scotland. I know Steve McCormack was hoping that his partnership with Danny Brough would flourish in this tournament. They've both not done too badly so far. So Scotland, having just planted their first try of the game, a couple of metres away now as Wallace picks it up at dummy half into Wilkes. Looking to try and free up the ball carrying arm, but tackle is complete. Push back as well. Now Wallace again. Into Addy. Addy thought about releasing the ball. Henderson into Wallace, then Brough, through hands again, into Linnett. As they spread the play again. Dale Ferguson stopped 8 metres away, and this is the final play for the Scots. Switching it back round as Brough puts the kick through. There's legs in it there, but Linnett picks it up and he's dived through. And Kane Linnett of North Queensland Cowboys. We're going to have another look at this one. But Scotland could have 2 quick tries in a couple of minutes.
Onside, offside. All onside, roll on. Now gone back to 1. Yeah. Just slowly, please, on the grounding. And this one again, please. Okay, slowly, slowly. Okay, okay. It's clearly on the ground. try.
Our video referee, Thierry Alibert, having a few looks at that one. A look to the onside offside, but it's a try. And a look at the obstruction as well. There's Carlo Napolitano. His side now 12 points to 0 down, and Kane Linnett had his debut against PNG in the warm-up game that Scotland played. And here he is on the end of a move. A lovely little collect from him. Dives underneath the line. Underneath the legs and over the line.
Yeah, just a little bit more urgency needed from the Italians there when that kick went through. A little bit of a lucky ricochet, and the big man out on the wing, Manolato, couldn't grab the ball, but unfortunately for the Italians, it's another try for the Scots, and Danny Bruss rubbed some salt into the wounds with a very neat kick from out wide to push the Scots 14-0 up.
Kane Linnett with a 4-pointer to his name. And Scotland now with a good firm grip on this game with Italy. Big challenge, wasn't it? By Cade Snowden. Number 14 there for Italy.
And for Italy, leaving the field, number 10, Paul Ball is replaced.
And here it is.
Well,
it's a little bit of a flailing arm, isn't it? Not the best tackling technique.
He's lucky the arm went over the top. It's a big shot with the chest, and the arm just swung straight over the top of his head.
He's back involved again there. Dragging over Mick Stringer of Scotland, and now another kick. It's just going to dribble through. Just a bit too strong if they wanted to try and apply some pressure.
Yeah, another early kick from Brough as well inside the 40, and he's getting Minicello out to one side when he's looking to kick down that the Scotland left, and kicking it back the other way to make him have to get across to it. So smart play from the Scots, and I'm sure they'll be happy with that ball going out the back, just to give them some time to get the defensive line set.
Getty takes the first drive, and then Chris Centrone, North Sydney, drives on again, and both sides using their interchange as well now to full effect. It's another big run from the big man, Cade Snowden, with the ball in hand this time. It's away. Which opens up, gives a little bit of space, an extra few metres for the Italians. Minicello fires it out to that right-hand side. He's brought back in. Brough's there with a tackle.
Come on.
Final play then for Italy. They're going to run it on that shorter side, looking for a bit of space, and the offload to get the ball away. They kept it alive, but they're offloading straight into the arms of Alex Hurst. He thought he was away, had his legs taken. And then Brendan Santi completed that tackle on Hurst. So here it is again, bouncing
play
around.
from the Italians there. Minicello just jumped down the short side, got a good ball from Parada, but the ball came back into Falcone, and he couldn't pick it up, so the Scots did very well. Hurst, recipient there, just brought the ball back very well for him.
Carter carved down, this time a much better tackle from Cade Snowden. Another early kick in the tackle count, that's just enough as well. Setting Italy up, bang on their goal line. It's not a bad chase. Good drive though from Minicello, Anthony.
You can see the Scots' tactics here. They're not afraid to kick the ball early and have to defend well. There's a break from the Italians now though.
Offloading the ball was Mark Minicello to no one in the end. They do keep holding the ball, the Italians, and the Scottish penalised for laying on.
Well, the Scots, you know, they're not afraid to kick the ball early and chase and rely on their defensive tactics. They don't want to play the game down their end of the park, and they're doing a very good job at the moment of keeping that pressure on. Giving away a penalty there, Steve McCormack won't be happy with, just to allow the Italians down into the inside 40.
Mark Minicello held 25 metres out. Now with Santi. Nasso now the replacement at dummy half. As eventually Ciraldo flops over into that final 10-metre section.
Let go, let go, let go, Kane. Okay.
Italy chopped down then a metre short. Trying to run the ball through underneath the sticks. They're pushing their way over, but it looks like they're going to be held up on the back. Over the line. They'll spun off the back there, and Ciraldo it was trying to push his way over, couldn't get the ball down. Held well up on his back. And the final play now for Italy. Looking for the one, are they? No, they're putting it out. They do claim the ball. Underneath it was Josh Montelato even.
I don't know why they do that. The you know, halfbacks in general, he's throwing the ball 10 metres back to put that ball up, and it just doesn't allow your players to get through enough. They should be kicking from the front foot and kicking in the front line to give their chasers an opportunity to get through there.
Ian Henderson does a scamper from dummy half. Mick Stringer ends up with the ball in hand. Nice little scamper again. Likes doing that, doesn't he?
Well, he's great on his feet, Russell, isn't he? Very, very elusive. Carries the ball in that one hand with a grip and charge down there. I think that's a kick straight into the face, was it, of the Italian player?
Brough with the kick.
That's the first time they put pressure on Brough with that kick, and you know, they've got a result out of it. So that's something that they'll want to work on in this second spell.
And we see charge down.
And off his hands. Good work from Minicello there.
Come on, another step. Another step. Thank you.
Of course, Mark Minicello, the younger brother of Anthony, who's playing at fullback, and that wearing 16 is Brendan Santi.
On the line. Stay on the line. Go.
Now with Tramonte.
Move. Hold. Hold.
Nasso has a look from dummy half. Drops it back through the hands of Getty.
Luke Douglas, get up. Hold here now. Stay on the line. Stay on the line. Go.
Fending off the ball is Snowden.
Help! Release him!
Not an easy man to stop in his tracks. Nasso. Little kick through this time. Maybe there's not enough on it, but there is. Cameron Ciraldo, the vice-captain of the Italians. We're going to have a look at this, though. Wasn't the tidiest of kicks, but has Ciraldo got the Italians' scoreboard ticking?
Onside, offside, please. Okay. He's onside. I know. Okay. Okay. Just can I have another look on the grounding, please? Slowly. Okay. 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 Okay, let's try.
Cameron Ciraldo of Penrith scores Italy's first try for their second game of the campaign. Very influential in their qualifying campaign. Our video referee Thierry Alibert says that they were successful. 10 points the difference now with a kick to come.
Well, I'm surprised that Henry Perinaro went to the screen then. He was in perfect position to watch it. There was nothing wrong with it. It was a good pass from Nasso out to the half back there, Gietta. Neat little kick through, just to grab it, took the ball to the line. Lucky bounce again off the feet of Ciraldo, but picked it up great for a big man and dived over for a 4-pointer. Very, very good work, and it really puts them back into the game. They needed that. They need this kick to go over from Manolato, and they're back in it.
Josh Montelato of Newcastle made his NRL debut this year. Lines up these extra two. Success. So back down to 8 points. Carlo Napolitano there, the Italian coach. So we see it again. Ciraldo touching down. Again, a good little take, bit of a favourable bounce from his foot.
If the Italians learn anything from this first half, it's that they must put pressure on Danny Brough. The first kick that they've put pressure on Brough, they've got a result out of it, got a charge down and got the ball back and then got a penalty, and then they've scored on the back of it. So that'll be a very, very big point in the dressing room at half-time that they'll be making.
Once again, Snowden giving the ball to try and make some damage in this Scottish defence. Now with Tremonti in the skull cap. Nasso at dummy half. Has a go himself, but doesn't get too far before those tartan shorts and blue shirts stop him in his way. He's now Anthony Minicello, drops it to his right-hand side. Nasso in, back to dummy half to Getty to stick the kick into the sky. Good take by Russell in the end. He said knock on. Henry Perinara just got away from Matty Russell in the end, but
yeah, it did look like he dropped it. It's a good call from the referee, but if you look here, it just rolls down. He has lost control of it. That's a very, very good call from Henry Perinara.
You see there Perinara's view.
There. Great
very
call.
Good call.
Great call. Again, it puts the pressure on the Scots now. 14-6. 6 minutes to go, and very, very well.
So the Italians will attack from 20 out. Now Anthony Minicello. I think Matty Russell saw that one on the screen and was still saying he caught it. Here's Guerra. Scored 2 tries on debut in the opening game of the campaign for Italy. Now Snowden again.
Get up now, Peter!
Nasso into Getty, who switches things back around inside.
Held, let him go.
Lost the ball as Brendan Santi, but it's raked out, says the referee, so penalty to the Italians and a bit more pressure for them. They want some points to...
Well, they've had to do a lot of defending so far because they've been kicking very early, so this is another big test for the Scots.
Nasso into Tremonti.
Get straight out.
The Italians then knocking on the door, the Scottish. Man for man as they edge their way up towards the line. They're there but not over. Getty back to Snowden. More of a tired run that time from the big man. Getty again, using the hands and floating it away. A little bit out of line was Alex Hurst in the Scottish defence, but got away with that one. And here is the final play for the Italians. Little chip over the top, underneath Anthony Minicello. Can't keep hold of it. They take it into the end goal area and they'll take a tackle. Will Ben Helliwell, and they'll drop out to the Italians.
Well, it's another set of 6 for the Scots, isn't it? The Italians are doing very, very well at the moment. Just really making the Scots work in defence, and the big men, they're running down that field like Godzilla sometimes. They're just carrying the ball forward at pace and then, you know, letting them quick men out wide. Minicello's playing a big part at the moment, and they've got some smart men out wide.
5 white shirts there, making sure they kept them penned in. Steve McCormack, Scottish coach. Ian Henderson it is. Just with a bit of a leg problem, bit of cramp maybe. There's Napolitano, the Italian coach on the left there, who was coached by Steve McCormack way back when in the Salford Academy.
16, let go!
Guerra with the first drive takes him into that 30-metre line.
Move now, 8! Hey, stay on the line.
Strong stuff on Anthony Lafranchi. Now Nasso opens things up as Italy make good meters. Still a good few opportunities in this set now. Snowden into Lafranchi.
Just stand up.
Now Getty looking to try and barge their way through with Santi. Santi can't quite get there, and the ball's run loose. The referee says so. It was done illegally, and another penalty.
Another set of 6. This is what, the fifth set of 6 on the line of the Scots. They're holding up firm at the moment, but this one's going to be a big one. If they can hold them out here, they've done a great job.
Now have they got a get out to jail card free up their sleeve? Scotland defending yet again. Using the big men, aren't they? Just trying to wear down that Scottish defence. Santi with another drive. Now Nasso brings it himself, looking to squeeze his way home, and looks like he has. The pressure has paid off for Italy. The try given, and Nasso, they knocked and they knocked and they knocked, and eventually the door opens, and down they crash it over the line.
Yeah, well, that was great work from the Italians there. They put plenty of pressure on, and, you know, if anything, I think the Scots are ahead with the brilliance of the two halves, and I think the halves from Italy just need to step up a little bit more if they want to be a part of this game. But they've fought well, and they've got themselves back into the game. Nasso, little small chunky fella, he's jumped out of dummy half, proved very hard to stop there on the line after, I think, probably about 30 tackles. So a great job from the Italians there to place the ball down. Really makes this an interesting game now. 14-12 going into half-time. I'm sure he'll kick this the way this bloke kicks the ball.
Raymond Nasso, a man on the end of it, but they just used the battering rams, didn't they? Just kept going and kept going at that Scottish line. Eventually it gave way, and they forced their way through. And now, we could have a 2-point game back on our hands on the stroke of half-time. Mantellato lines up the extra 2. At his debut 3 years ago for Italy, and kicks the extra 2 now. We are back within 2 points. Just that early penalty from Danny Brough. 2 tries apiece since, and with 30 seconds to go, one final play, you'd have thought, in this first half.
Well, Scotland were looking great earlier on, and really got back into the game, and for the last probably 10 minutes they've had to really defend most of that time. The tackle count must be enormous for the Scots, and Italy have done a very, very good job to get back into the game. They'll want this, they want to take this ball, they want to play out this set without coming up with any errors and conceding anything.
The seconds tick down at the end of this first half. Will Italy want to try one little flourish? The hooter goes, the tackle, the ball's away. They do want to finish with a flurry, don't they? Hugs all round there, and there it is, the end of the first 40 minutes. Scotland raced into a 14 points in a lead, but